Hey, I am Anthony,
Hey, I'm Nick.
and we're in Bayside. With this 25th anniversary that we're celebrating here, we like to say that we're celebrating not only the last 25 years, but kicking off the next 25 years. Important to us to highlight the old stuff, but also have a whole set of stuff where we can say, like, we're still good. Our new records are good too.
So we are using the second set here and the second night in America to kind of just highlight some of the newer stuff that we know our hardcore fans like that we haven't really got to play yet. The thing that I think is cool is that what's happening back in the States with our like really hardcore fan base, we've noticed has happened here where everyone is there to sing every word.
We're still not as big here as we are in the States, but it's definitely not lost on us every day how many more people that are here than the last time. And that's, that's progress. That's exciting every night.
I think it's just like instilled in us to work, even though we're 25 years old as a band and we're all in our 40s. It's like, it's really instilled in us to not really give up because we've never been afforded the opportunity to like at all ever rest on our laurels.
Yeah.
So the fact that we're probably like, really, how many times have we tried to make it work here? This is probably our fifth time. We're like, we gotta figure it out.
Headline tour. We've been here like 20 times.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not once you can, when you get to a point where you can sell out venues, even if they're smaller ones or mid-sized ones, that it starts feeling real good. You know what I mean? Like playing a sold out show, no matter whether it's 300 people or 500 or 1,000 or 5,000, like it's a good, you're doing something right. Possibly. I don't know that it's necessarily younger people discovering our music. It doesn't seem like younger people at the shows. So there is like kind of I think there's an emo resurgence for sure happening. And that probably helps like reinvigorate some of the fans from the old records that maybe didn't stay with the band. It's an older crowd. So I think it's more of like the metal fan, the rock fan, like that. Those are our new fans,
That's the talking point, whether with other interviews or friends that I have all the time. And often people are like, are you stoked? Like emo's back? I'm like, again, we weren't bigger 20 years ago.
Right.
Like we don't have
that's not our heyday.
Yeah.
We don't really romanticize that time.
It's kind of, we've existed parallel to all of that always. And yes, that's our scene, but it never was our like bread and butter as far as like what made us successful. So
yeah, we didn't really pay attention much to the scene then. So we're not now. You know what I mean? Like we always sort of made it a point never to sort of jump on whatever was happening, whatever was kind of like cool at the time. To our detriment, probably. That's probably why we weren't big when everybody else was. But we're 25 years later, we see the dividend.
A majority of people do enjoy festivals, which seems crazy to me. But like people like going to festivals, and I think that festivals are starting to be a little bit broader with their sound. So we could actually like fit in a lot of different genres. It's not just emo or hard rock. Like it could be, we could play a festival that like Bring Me the Horizon is headlining, or the Foo Fighters. We fit in a couple places.
So we did Download here last summer. That was fun. I like to do it all. It's cool to do when we were young and like everybody and you're backstage and it's all your friends from the last 2 to 3 decades, like all in one place. But it's also kind of cool to play a show and be like, oh shit, that's the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Well, it's like, you have to think like in decades. I'm just thinking out loud now. This has nothing to do with interview, but like you have to think in like the past 20 years or so, 25 years. How are you going to populate a festival unless you pay attention to what was big 20 years ago or 10 years ago? Like they kind of stopped making big rock bands at the pace they were. So it's like, sure, there's going to be like a Kings of Leon or something, but then what's the undercard of the Kings of Leon festival? It's got unless you broaden what the sounds are like you're not really going to be able to like populate a festival. So you have to start.
The Killers can't just headline everything for the rest of time.
Exactly.
I think the cream rises to the top, and I think that'll always be the case in music, no matter what the vehicle for promotion is, no matter what marketing looks like. There was a lot of bands that sounded like the Beatles like in the 60s, and like there's a reason that the Beatles are the Beatles, because they're the best. Dime a dozen bands were there, but there's only one Killers, there's only one Strokes, there's only one band that made it out. And I even with emo, even now I look at My Chemical Romance and bands like that, it's like they're the best, like they're the biggest because they're the best, like. So I mean, I think that no matter what the vehicle for promoting is, whether it's TikTok or whatever, it's like it's still got to be good. You can't ever, like, labels have been trying for 100 years to force music down people's throat, and you can't. Like, it's still got to be good.
Dress better, have better hair. 20 years ago.
I mean, when we started this band, we set out right away to like be in it for the long haul. We never wanted to like make decisions to try to get bigger faster. We never wanted to do things because it would make us bigger. We wanted to try, and we would always ask ourselves, like, will we be embarrassed about this in 20 years? We would, like, whether it was a record cover or a song or a lyric or something, we always tried to make the right decisions to stand the test of time. And I feel like we did that. Obviously, I mean, we're sitting here on our 25th anniversary, like, so I think we did that just the best we could. But it was hard at times, you know what I mean? And I think that the cream rise to the top thing, I think, is something I wish I would have known earlier, because I would get so frustrated just looking at bands around us on, Warp Tours or wherever in press, be like, that band sucks. Like, why are people listening to that band? And then if I would have only known, like, nobody will listen to them in 6 months. Like, it's going to go away. You know what I mean? Like, it would have saved me a lot of stress if I knew earlier, like, don't worry about it if it sucks, because it's going away.
I mean, to me, the way I look at it is that the beautiful thing of being around for 25 years is watching people grow with us. And it's kind of like a lot of bands that mean a lot to people break up, and they're not there for their fans for a lot of time. And that annoys me, in the sense of, like, you can't get along just so you could be there for your fans, So, like, I think the inspiration to keep going at this point is, first of all, it is our life, like, we can't just stop and be like, oh yeah, we're good. We do need it to live, but also being there for our fans. The beautiful thing that's happening too is, like, our fans are older and they're getting married and they're having kids and making the kids Bayside fans, so they're coming to shows with their kids now, which is also like another thing that we never considered that would happen.
I mean, and I'm always thinking about our band in terms of, like, what's next, or what else can we accomplish? You know what I mean? So even coming here over and over, and it's been like a slow grind, and we could just stay in the U.S. where we're really big and make a lot of money. Like, we could just do that. But, like, we want it. Like, we want it. Like, we want to have a career here too. We want to play the festivals. I think we take a lot of pride in what we do. Like, a lot of our, like, identity and self-worth is wrapped up in it, so when we make art that makes us proud, that just makes us proud as people. Like, we need it. Collaborate on an album is hard. There's certainly bands I'd love to tour with and play with. I would love to do anything with Green Day. That would be very cool.
I think a band from over here, Biffy Clyro.
Biffy Clyro is one of my favorite bands.
A lot of my favorite bands are from here. So a band like Wolf Alice, I'm like, they have heavier stuff and alternative. They have something that I feel like a Bayside fan would like. That would be great. You got to be diligent when you're older. That's for sure. There's
not a lot of word of mouth, like, at this age, there's not a lot of.
I mean, I do trust friends, certain friends who I generally get along with and know they have good taste. If they post something, I'll be like, just tap that link and listen to it real quick,
and therein really lies the issue, because most of our fans are around our age too. So, like, how do we make new fans when we as music fans recognize how hard it is to find new music?
As much as no one wants to turn into their parents, it kind of happens, and, like, you just get distracted by life, and then you're like, they don't make them like they used to. I'm just going to listen to Green Day and Rancid, and it's like, yeah, but there's, like, the Interrupters now, like, you like Green Day, go listen to Cold Years, like, there is new music. It's just harder. The thing that I really believe in is, like, it's harder to connect with it as an older person. You have to really want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
You can't just go into it expecting it to make you feel like a kid again. You have to like kind of want it and like put yourself on that level. You have to be open to it, I guess. You know, you can't just be like, oh, that didn't make me feel like I was 10 years old. It's like, yeah, but maybe you should feel like a 35-year-old watching
Yeah.
it, you know, like have fun with it.
Yeah.
Mine's Bad Nerves. They're from here also. Yeah, yeah. I was here for Star Wars Celebration 2 Aprils ago, and another band from here called Black Honey that I like. I went and saw them at Coco, and I was like, oh, I wonder who's opening, and it was Bad Nerves. And I'm like, you've got to be shitting me, because I was like more excited at that point to see Bad Nerves than Black Honey. Like really, really recent, like as in a week or two. I think they just had a new record, Lambrini Girls. Is that it? Yeah, yeah, that was pretty cool. They have like an Amyl and the Sniffers kind of vibe. So it's tough, you know. Like I really try, and still to this day, I think I listen to podcasts more than music at this point in my life. So